Hello guys, good evening. I'm sorry about that last video I sent that it was where I was. I couldn't talk much in there. What I was trying to explain in that video was that I wanted to share with us the progress that we have so far, regarding this application design. So everybody has already sent in their own work. They've pushed it online. I wanted to show it to everybody where we are currently and one more work that needs to be done. So in here we have the page itself, which is our let me start from the beginning. The landing page itself. The first thing you realize is that you see a loader on this page. Why I put that is mainly because for a production application, because if this application is going to go into production, and this is what I'm trying to explain. This is done to load the assets and the element of the pages behind the scene. If you are loading indirectly, the page might look weird, especially with the images that will be coming in. Things might be resizing, reshaping, and it might look weird when it might decreases user experience. So instead of you doing that, we can just use like a loader to hide it. You understand? While the page is being loaded, and once it's loaded, the loader will be replaced by the main page, which is what we're having here, the landing page. The first thing you realize is that I've already added a little animation on this navigation in here. I think I use a transition in here. So once you start scrolling down, you will see some unscrew animation. Things start fading in from down up, like the way we have in these cars in here. And you continue. Okay, that's some effect on these images too. And at the same time, the page is responsive. It fits on different devices, smartphone screens, tablets, iPads, and so on. Like for instance, if you look at this top here, like the navigation in it, when I resize this page, you realize that the navigation disappears. It's being replaced by this collapsible button. When you click it, it shows a drop down for the navigation, which is it improves users experience, especially on different screens based on what the user sees on each of their own screen. They will see the same page but in a slightly different way, which improves users experience. Understand? I think this view should be like for the mobile view. Once you start scrolling down, realize that everything is centralized like this. This page is responsive. For the next one is the sign-in page. I think it's Olushi that did this one. She already added the the validation in there, and you realize invalid email with must be 12 invalid password. Let me see whether it is responsive. I don't think it is, because I think I've checked it before. No, it's not. Realize that the welcome to mindful space in here is overflowing to the other side, so it's not responsive. And another thing I realized is that when you look at this page, this content in here, from what we have on the Figma, it's a bit different. Like for instance now, when I scroll to it in here, which is the login screen, which is this one, realize that the content in here is inside of a container, which is a white container in here. Maybe she should just have like, I don't know, like a padding to give that effect, to give that visual look. And there's a toggle in here, this switch. The next one is the sign up page. I believe this one should be responsive because there's no validation yet, because I didn't have time to even put it in there. For the responsiveness, let's see. Yes, it is responsive. Okay. As for mobile view, for tablet view, let me see. Let me increase it. The screen is more. As for tablet view, it's okay. Okay. Which is what we have in here. The sign-in page. The next page is the dashboard page. Okay. One of the problems that we encountered in this page particularly was with these things in here, they were not really images, they were visual data that is represented in form of graph. Trying to get this exact look was it proved to be challenging, but thankfully we are here, because from what we have on the Figma in here, we are close, rather, let me say close. From what we have in the Figma in here, let me zoom in more. This is what it looks like in here, aside from this, which I believe is an image or something like that. The rest can have like a data that they represent for the particular user, which is what we have in here. Let me see whether it's responsive. It's not responsive because it's overflowing right here. So this one needs to be worked on. For the mood check-in, last time I checked, which it was yesterday, on the mood tracker rather, it wasn't I don't know, I think the UI UX designer is already working on it, because what we had in there before is different, a little bit different from what we have today. Today now I check is, although it still look close, but not that much. So if when you click on it, you realize that we have which is what we have in here, something close to this, you understand? And the next one, I think it should be close to it, but it's a bit different, because understand. So these ones are all new pages that have been added. Okay. For the next one, which is the journal page, one of the things I noticed was the navigation of this journal in particular is slightly, it is the same to what we have, however it's just, I don't know whether it is incomplete or it's incomplete, and at the same time it is not well arranged. Because from what we have in here, which is what, if you look at it, you realize that there is a user profile, the logo itself, and the input. However, when you look at it, the user profile, which is I said the user, yes, the avatar rather, the avatar is not shown in here. Why the main space, is, and at the same time, I believe this icon in particular is not what we have on the Figma, because if you look at this one is a solid icon, while this one is an outline, and this search is not centralized inside of this input. From what we have in here, you realize that it's at the center in a way, like vertically. And these borders too, they are not rounded enough. This box is not rounded at the tip enough. I believe the person that did this one told me to use a state to check it, because I don't know why this editor is taking time. Sorry about that. Let's move on while it flows. For the responsiveness, it's not responsive. Everything is overflowing on lower screens. For the entry page, which is the next page, I have the side navigation bar in here. Terminal one is what we have at the top in here. Here right there. Okay. Also close it, close it, closes, and there are other things that are also being added to it, like this. Okay. Okay. These are all what we have in here. They've all been done from what we have on the prototype in here. Let me see whether it is responsive. It looks like it is responsive. Okay. 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 For the next one, which is the profile page, is looking good. Okay, so there's this one. All settings here, yes. Okay, we have it in here like that. Okay, privacy settings. And for the delete account, I see that this one is straight at the middle. It's all centralized in the side of the button. Maybe they should use like a flex to justify center, line center, to make this to be at the middle. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So this side, I believe they should, normally users should be able to click outside of this box to close it, but this one is not closing now. Let me refresh it to close it. Okay. For the next one, which is the meditation page, okay. Okay. Let me see whether it's responsive. It's not responsive. From what I have here, you can see that it is overflowing. Let me go back to down. Okay. Now that page, which is the profile page, to see whether it is responsive. Okay, it is responsive. It's looking like this. Okay. Okay, it's responsive. Okay, let me see. Is that really responsive? Yes, it is responsive. these pages have been done. The next one, which is the get started page. Okay. You can see that there's space in here. I don't know why the space is too big in here, like from this M to this emojis in here. Why this one and so as this one? Look at it. And what we have in the Figma, the spacing are not really that much. So we need to work on that one again. And I think some of the get started page has been new things has been added on it. Like for this one, you have how are you feeling today, and set up your profile with some pop-up. I think these are one overlay for the gender. It's not even overlay, just a drop down menu. It's an overlay, so drop down menu. So as this one, date of birth for date. Okay guys, so please let us all make these pages responsive, because Mr. Dami is already complaining about the pages not being responsive. He wants us to make the whole page responsive, and at the same time he wants us, the ability to be able to log into the application. So guys, let's start working on it, because Beatrice is already doing her own part when it comes to the UI, and we can't be going back and forth trying. I know you can, I still come back and do some small things in the design. However, since these are the things we are still having on ground now, let's perfect these pages, make sure that it's looking all good, because by the time we move, we finish with this UI. The next one will just be the next set of UI with API. You understand? Okay. And for the last one I was supposed to show, okay, it has loaded. Let me show you this one. Well, the person told me that I should change the state so that I'll be able to see the other page, which is a profile page. It's not profile page, rather a journal page, like this one. There are two aspects of it. The first one is supposed to be this one, and the second one is supposed to be this. So let's look at what it looks like when I save it in here. Okay, that's it right there. It's changing here. Okay. It's still the same. It's just the navigation that is having issues in here, and some of these buttons being rounded at the border and the corners enough, and this navigation, all the things I mentioned before. Please guys, let's stick to what we see on the Figma. And this I think this image there's a dark background on it, because you will see dark border rather, because you see this black at this side in here. Please stick to what you see on the Figma. Okay, thank you guys. Please, let's work on it.